What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good day. Hope you had a good day trading. I didn't trade today. I took one trade last night that went against me. It wouldn't have really mattered, but I was short on the retest here, and my stop loss was somewhere, I think, like pretty much right there. And my take profit was down here somewhere. And so they barely stopped me out, then sold off, but would have never reached my take profit anyway. And then they just rocketed up and definitely would have stopped me out at that point, regardless of where my stop loss was. That's the only trade I took, I guess, late last night, early this morning. SPY today. Sold off right from where we expected. They didn't quite reach the level where we were wanting to close. They came very close. And then they bounced and came back to the area that we were looking to grab puts, and then they had their big sell-off from there. Hopefully some of you caught this. Let's quickly look at the option trades from today. Excuse me. I have, well, so McDonald's was a miss. We opened above our level. This was calls above, close here. We opened above, came back up, should have stopped everybody out, and then they went ahead and hit our close level and then sold off. So I have it marked as a miss. It's the first miss we've had in quite a while. This wasn't from today, but I saw somebody traded it. They tagged me. Somebody took puts on Visa and made like 140%, something like that. Next one we have is Pan W, which hit our second trim. Unfortunately, we didn't lose the Wii level. That would have been fun. But they bounced pretty hard from the second trim. And so that was a win. And then our last one is PDD, which was invalid. We were waiting for them to come down to here for calls, and they didn't make it. Came very close. Yeah, so that's that. For the rest of our video, I've got to be pretty quick. I'm starting a little bit later than usual, and I have work tonight, and I keep getting to work late because I keep running over on these videos. So I need to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Shorty will be live 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, covering futures. And then really quickly, I wanted to talk about something. Somebody was messaging me on the last YouTube video saying that my TPO levels are off, that TOS is better, and Sierra charts. I've never used Sierra charts. I have used TOS. And then they mentioned that you would need like programming knowledge to basically like code your own indicators for TOS, I'm guessing, maybe for Sierra charts as well. So I have used TOS. Their volume profile indicator is not as good as, or at least the one I was using is not as good, I feel, as Thinkorswim. And more importantly, it doesn't really matter. Like, use what's comfortable to you. I didn't want to try to have this whole conversation just in, messages back and forth. So I just gave like kind of a brief reply. But at the end of the day, I've used both TOS and TradingView, and I've had both where, like, if this is the level that I identified with volume profile, I've had both like literally to a penny hit it and go. The thing is both are calculated differently. So to say one is correct and the other one isn't, I think would be a bit reaching. They're both completely different, and they'll never be exactly the same. The levels will always be different, and so to say my TPO levels are wrong because they're not the same as the TPO levels you're finding on a different charting platform, I would argue that that is incorrect. But I would also argue that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, use the platform that's comfortable for you and trade off of the levels that you find on that platform. I think both are going to be, both are going to have their differences on levels. I noticed that, and I was shown that by my mentor years and years ago, that the levels between TradingView and TOS are off. But again, when he was teaching it to me, he wasn't saying this one's wrong and that one's right. It was just recognizing that they're never going to be the same level because it's calculated differently. With that said, let's get into SPY. I will say I am happy to see that SPY did exactly what we were looking for them to do today. And again, I hate to have like that bias going into the next day, or I try not to have a bias going into the next day, but everything was just looking very bearish overall. All right, let's do our session volume profile. Again, we're going to go quick. I'm probably not going to be reading through chat. If there's questions that I can answer quickly, I'll answer, but otherwise, I got to get out of here in like 20 minutes. Yeah. So we are going to be cranking through this. Looks like we have a poor low and a poor high. Yeah. Basically, I have two poor lows like stacked right on top of each other. And I guess this is single prints. Same thing. This is the single prints are going to be the same level as the previous day value area high, and I would combine the two. But I'm just going to put mine below it. Can't draw SIGs. We don't have overlapping days. Let's look at our news for tomorrow. Looks like all of the significant stuff is before the market opens. So before the market opens, an hour before. This is an hour and 45 minutes before. Also an hour before. This is 45 minutes before. And then after that, there's nothing really significant. And Friday, there's pretty much nothing. Do we have bank holiday in the States? Because if so, funds won't settle from Thursday to Friday. I'm pretty sure we do. But so just be aware of that. If you're trading a cash account, your funds, and this also depends on your broker, but in most cases, your funds will not settle from Thursday to Friday when there's a bank holiday. Yeah, right now our POC is at the top. This is capital B shape profile with most volume traded at the top. Let's look at what futures are doing. A whole lot of nothing. We're trading sideways. I probably should share this with you guys really quickly. I told you I was short. Where was it? Here. And I knew that I was probably chasing. I knew I was probably frustrated. And what it was I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. It was here. Actually, like I posted this in Keenan's and I posted this in Shorty's Discord as well. I said if we retest like right around here, I want it to be in short. And then on this candle here, where we got a bounce, I was watching it and I'm like, oh, they might come to here and then reject and go lower. And I contemplated moving my entry down to 53, 73, 75. And even if I had, they wouldn't have filled me, because it was, as this bounce was happening, I recognized like this was a little consolidation area. They might come to there and then sell off. And then obviously they didn't hit either of the two levels that I was interested in getting filled at, and then just absolutely dumped. And I think at that point I was feeling frustrated that I missed both. And I was like, all right, let me take a stab here, even though we're probably like at the bottom of the range. And we were at the bottom of the range. So really kind of stupid. I didn't risk very much though. I was trading MES. And basically should have just let it go. You know, but just showing everybody that I am human too. I have emotions. Sometimes I let my emotions get the better of me. Right now, we're super flat, 16 points. Which, I guess like the overnight session for ES, this isn't bad for like a normal day, but things have not been normal for weeks. And so, you know, I'm used to seeing 50 to 100 point moves on ES in a day, which is generally not normal. Let's zoom out on SPY, see what we see. Indecision candle. Increased volume. Oh, wait. No, we don't have a spike, right? It would be... Maybe we do. Was I not paying attention? No, we didn't make a new lower low on M period. Okay. For me, just looking super indecisive. We're between two levels we've identified, and I think I was telling everybody like 521 on SPY. Is that where we bounced? Pretty much, yeah. I had said this, I don't remember, like somebody asked me a question in Keenan's and they were saying, is the target 520? And I said it's 520 and some change, so I would just close at 521, because I didn't remember the exact level off of the top of my head, but it's like whatever this is, 520 and 12 cents. And that's pretty much right where we bounced. But then, so kind of between these two levels we have identified, 518.53, 539.78. We're hanging out right between those and looking very indecisive. We didn't tap either, on this particular day. And right now, like we noticed on SPY, the POC is above on the upside. So maybe they'll give us a little move up tomorrow. But again, big indecision candle with increased red volume on the day, between like two key levels. I wouldn't be kind of surprised to see either sideways or a bounce tomorrow. I don't like I don't like where we are very much. Actually, I don't want to include that. So, kind of looking for either this or this. And here, actually, we want them to go lower. So let me erase this. I think that should be pretty clear, concise, and to the point. With that said, I will say we know who the real ones are today that are in the stream. We've got some big boys live right now. So if you're here, I guess that means you're watching me over them. So thank you for the support. I'm going to post this in Keenan's, give you guys a chance to ask questions if you have any. If not, then for people in Shorty's Discord, I will be live probably like an hour after the open. I have work tonight. And other than that, I'll just say, as always, thank you to the people subscribed. Thank you. Extra thanks to the people that are friends of the stream. And if you're new, I would appreciate a sub. Basically, 5 days a week, we go over what we're watching for on SPY. And if we see option setups, then we'll cover those. I didn't have time to even look at any today, but I probably wouldn't have found any based on the price action. And sorry, what else was I going to say? And then basically like once a month or twice a month, we'll generally do some education teaching how to trade. And I will throw in there also, for anybody that's not there in Shorty's Discord, you can DM me and I'll add you. It's free. I'm mentoring a couple of friends and basically just turn it into a big group mentorship. I think so far it's going very well. We've done 3 sessions, and Friday will be our 4th. And for anybody that's not in Shorty's Discord, it would be a one-time $100 fee, and you're welcome to join. We're doing the sessions late at night, 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, but they're all recorded. That way you can go back and rewatch them. And you could also go back and rewatch or rewatch the previous sessions that we've already done. Yeah, I'm going to dip out now. I'm not going to be late, David Ryan. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hopefully I have a very nice night tonight. I know I'm assigned to ER, and I hate working in the ER. But it is what it is. Yeah, so with that said, much love, much respect, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow afternoon, doing the same thing as always. All right. Much love, much respect. Peace out, y'all. See you tomorrow. Bye.